All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining me. I'm your host, Derek Lane, and this is another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Hey, I know a lot of people out there, they listen to these podcasts on, business, finance, what have you, to garner some insight, to experience something that maybe they haven't heard, or maybe they have heard but they didn't hear it in the right way, something that clicks, something that motivates you to say, yeah, I get that. Okay, now we're cooking, we're going. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through this, and it's gonna be a lot of maybe what you've heard, maybe you haven't heard it. I just hope that it clicks with you and it resonates in the right way. I know that sometimes we can get off on some spiritual path of the right and wrong and doing the right thing, but sometimes simply just wanting to make money is great. Just let me make some money. I'll figure the rest out after I make some money, because making money is tough. It may look easy because some people have made it look easy. And you've read those stories, and you've clicked on the internet, and you've seen made a millionaire before he was 25 or before he was 30 and whatever. Brilliant, it's all fluff pieces, and yeah, people have done that. But I'm going to tell you that you're one of the luckiest individuals ever walk the face of the planet if you're lucky enough to make be a millionaire or be multi-millionaire if you're still in your 20s. Okay, not saying it can't be done, and there's some bright young people doing it, but for the most part, for these articles to make us feel like like we're losers because we didn't do that, because oh man, the 20s have passed me by and still not there, so I guess I'm a loser. No, these things are designed as fluff articles for the most part to get your interest, but they're good in a way that it stirs your emotion and it gets you to thinking, and maybe it reinvigorates your desire for wealth a little bit more. I mean, if you're reading these articles, you pretty much have that desire. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about wealth creation and the systemic way in which we go about our wealth creation. Some of the ways that you create wealth, having money, being rich as far as financially, the lottery. And you can hit the lottery, you can be rich instantly. Yet we know that statistically, that's short-lived, okay? I've gone into the reasons and I don't know, maybe a year ago on a podcast of why lottery winners wind up broke. Okay, it's not earned, it's burned. Okay, so then secondly, there's inheritance. Aunt Jeannie dies, left me $1 million. I'm a millionaire. I was just sitting around waiting for it to happen. I love her, but man, hurry up, old lady. I need some money. But for the large portion of us, the lottery is not going to happen. The inheritance is not going to happen. Okay, so number 3, maybe it is discovery. Maybe you discover something new and fresh, or you've unearthed something that's very valuable. You have discovered something that pays you handsomely. You found a Monet painting in the garage you bought for $3. Turns out it's worth $5 million, whatever. A discovery. There again, let's not hold out for these 3 things to happen. Okay, number 4 is a little more real, and that is tenacious investment. Taking what you have right now and making tenacious investments. I mean, you have to be aggressive, but there's a lot of risk there. You got to be on top of it. If you rely on somebody else, what are they doing with it? They're just earning a commission. So you really have to be involved into your investment. You need to be the one investing. You need the one to have the license to invest. And again, that's why I say tenacious. You've got to go after it. Okay, so maybe that's not your cup of tea, Maybe just you invest, you get your 401k, whatever. It's not going to make you rich. It's not going to make you wealthy. Oh, maybe if you're 87 when you started investing by the time you were 30 into a 401k. Yeah, you get it, and you can't enjoy it. I'm talking about being rich while you can enjoy it. Okay, for some of you women, maybe you want to, just marry the money and, be a total sellout. Whatever. I mean, not here judging anybody. And for the men as well. I mean, you can, it's been said, you can marry more money in a minute than you can make in a lifetime. So for some people, it's not a bad way to go. But for those that don't have that option, don't even want that option, let's continue. Okay, you invent something. Okay, all right. You invent something. You're an inventor. You invent something, you sell it, and you get your royalties, and make a nice chunk of change. Not a bad gig there, but you got to be creative. You have to be an inventor. You have to come up with a fresh new idea, a fresh take on something that people want, that people will buy. Okay, there's a whole other episode probably in there somewhere about this and marketing. You can take some of the simplest junk and market it. I mean, Ron Popeil he became a millionaire by hawking useless crap on television. From a pocket fisherman to a glass froster that these things were ridiculous. Mr. Microphone, whatever it is, ridiculous junk. But he was a marketing genius. People with thinning hair, he sold them paint. He had just paint over it. I mean, and people bought it. It was great. He was an inventor or a great marketer, a little of both. Probably a better marketer than he was an inventor. Ron Popeil, if you don't know who it is, look it up. It's fascinating. The guy was actually a really fascinating guy. And then you have people that set out on a career that pay big money. They go into whatever, acting. Actors get paid really good money. So there's a natural draw to go to Hollywood and make it big. Singing, being in a band, you're out there and you make it big. Your record sales are great, and now you're a millionaire. And if that ever happens to you, promise me one thing. When you get wealthy, I've seen this happen time and time again, where wealthy people think because now I have money, I also am smarter than you. And then they start to bloviate about politics or socialism and whatever it is. They think they know more than you. Don't be that person. Just be happy that you're successful. Help others the right way. Okay, so moving on. You're in a band. You're whatever it is that you've done. You've struck gold. Those are some of the ways. But has any of these ideas so far struck a chord with you that you're like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe I will hit the lottery. Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe I will invent something. But these are ways that people become millionaires. Okay. Here's another way. May not be a bad way. Write a book. Write a book on something. But when you write a book on something, you do it as an expert. Be an expert. It takes time out of your life, your routine, your everyday life. It takes time to do these extra things. Coming home in the evening after a grueling day of listening to the boss yell at you, doing a job that just robs you of your soul. Your ambition has melted away like butter on a hot sidewalk, and you just don't feel like getting into anything. Well, I would encourage you to pursue some things that motivate you, first off. If you want to be logistic about earning wealth, earning money, is you need to do something that you enjoy doing. And I know you've heard that, and it's so cliche, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Take your hobby. First, start to define your hobbies. What are your hobbies? Whether it is playing a guitar, baking cakes, or writing, or poetry, or painting, or sculpting, or maybe you enjoy yard work, and that is a hobby for you. You may grow little bonsai trees. I know people that do that, and it's like a stress reliever / hobby. Whatever it is, use that as a creative force, because sometimes escapism gives us true clarity. It allows us to think more clearly. When we're not under undue pressure to have to do something like you are at a job, I've got to get that report in. My boss is up in my behind wanting this report, and I've got to do it, and whatever the case may be, I've got to get this done because the boss is really laying into me. That's not enjoyable. See, a hobby's enjoyable. There's no timeline. There's no stress. You just do it because that's what you want to do. You spend your time doing something that you want to do because you enjoy it. And again, it gives you clarity of moment. It provides you with a path to purpose, a way for you to clear your mind of all of the obstacles that are in your way mentally. And you start to think about, this, that. But with that, and if wealth creation is your thing, and that's what you're after, and that's what you want to do, then wealth creation must be at the forefront of your mind. See, if it's just kind of like lingering about, I'd like to be rich. Who wouldn't want to be, gosh, don't be silly. I'd like to be rich. Okay, well, that's just a wish. But when you are determined in your soul, in your being, in your bones, you're determined, I will accumulate wealth. I have it within me to accumulate wealth. I'm going to. And I don't care if I fail 1,000,000 times. I will figure it out. See, when you have that type of determination, when you have that type of fortitude, you can't be stopped. It's just you figuring out the vehicle for your wealth, the means, the having the wherewithal to communicate to the universe and having the universe respond and reward you with wealth. And it does. And I don't mean to be hokey and feel spiritual, but I'm telling you, this is how it works. You give the universe a reason, and you prove to the universe, to the powers that be, this is me. I'm a wealthy person. Okay? At this very instant, I can't prove it on paper, but I feel it in my bones. I know it in my heart and my soul. From my toes to my forehead, every fiber of my being, I know I'm going to be wealthy. And so when you put it out there and you start to work on it, that's when things start to occur to you. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about investing a little bit, and I told you about tenacious investing, and that's more of taking your money and being just very demanding with it in your investing. But investing into yourself as a human being is another subject, and that's what I'm referring to now. Investing into yourself, and I know on other podcasts I've talked about your ability to read books, listen to CDs, read articles, whatever it is, where you get your source of information, the books, the tapes, whatever it is that you read and listen to, podcasts like mine, whatever it is, continue to invest in yourself. Learn as much as you can. And if it's wealth creation that is your driving factor, then you better be reading, listening, and paying attention to the people that are experts in this subject. People that know what they're talking about. Listen and re-listen, and then when you think you've got it, re-listen again. Because I'm telling you, I've listened to some of my favorite authors out there and some of their best work, and I've listened to it and I thought, that was pretty good. And I set the CD aside or whatever it was, the book, and either, a few months later I reread it, I re-listened to it, and I'm like, oh wow, I missed that the first time around. How did I miss that? That makes so much sense to me. I've even set it down and come back a third time and like, oh, that makes sense to me. The first 2 times I didn't get it. Now I do. You see what I'm saying? You pick it up as you go along. You pick up different things because when your mind is ready, boom, it clicks. Okay, so invest into yourself. I'm going to make a suggestion to you, and these are what the experts say to do. If you want to become rich and you want to maintain wealth, find a way to create passive income. What is passive income? Passive income is money that you're making while you're asleep. See, most people work jobs, and if they miss a day of work,